a screen's gonna come up with a picture. We don't have a new picture, but as soon as that screen comes up, just go to the box on the, and exit out and close it. Because that means the connection is already made. And if you don't, then there's gonna be feedback. So there it is. So you go ahead and close that. Okay, we're live streaming, got it. And go ahead and admit Sarah. Okay. Now I set up a folder for you that has your agenda and pictures and stuff.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh, a lot of people come to
What?
Mike Kimbrough. It's a lot of people. You want to admit, Michael?
Oh. I don't have my good glasses on, so I'm going to have to wear them the next time. Hi, Michael. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, how are you doing?
Trying to learn this stuff.
I have faith in you. You can do it.
We're starting a little bit late here.
Yeah, I think maybe everybody should just have that person come and help them with everything. So here, this is your folder, all the documents, and see outreach, here's outreach, and here's your agenda.
Well, the pictures finally got uploaded. Huh?
Yeah, I asked her to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and share these. Share the agenda. Okay.
Okay. Oh, all of this stuff. Okay, we're getting started a little bit late. Sorry about that. Welcome everybody to our first outreach committee meeting, and I would like to call the meeting to order at 6:20 p.m. September 11th, 2023, and we'd like to have a review of the agenda. We have a welcome, public comment, and then our agenda items 3 through 6, old business, and then we'll adjourn. And we have to be out of here by 7:30.
7:15.
7:15, have to be over by 7:15, so we probably won't get through everything. We'll probably have to table some stuff until our next meeting, but let's get started. So we have, do we have to do the motions and stuff to accept, not for, oh, good, okay. Any public comments? 2 minutes each. Michael?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is a reoccurring meeting.
It depends on what's going on. It'll be reoccurring until we get through all of our agenda stuff. But if there's nothing going on, then I don't see a point in having a meeting.
So is this a reoccurring meeting?
I think for the next month or so, yes, Dolores wants to have one, so there'll be one in October.
I want to get into a rhythm. And so
Yes.
I'm thinking that, what is this, the third Monday?
Yes.
So can we
Second Monday.
okay, so can we say second Monday of the month?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
that's all I'm
6:15.
Okay, got it.
And it'll be reoccurring until different.
Until further notice.
Yeah, unless it's
Okay.
canceled.
I'm good with that. Okay.
Okay. Any other comments, Sarah? Nothing?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, moving right along. The first item on the agenda for discussion is ways to conduct outreach outside of social media. And I put this on the agenda because, and it's been bothering me for quite some time, is that everything we do is social media. And I think that we're missing a large component of stakeholders in our footprint. And I just wanted to discuss this evening or broach the subject this evening of ways that we can try to reach out to some of our members, our seniors and some of our non-English speaking stakeholders, and those that are not computer savvy, how we can reach out to them, because we're missing a whole segment of folks. So I came up with some thoughts, and these are just thoughts to kick around. I talked about maybe quarterly, going outside some of the schools when the parents are out there to pick up their kids and passing out some flyers, information about UNNC, or either talking to the principals and see if they will email the stuff out to the parents. If we can't get volunteers to do that, doing the same thing outside of some churches, or going to some of the farmers markets that we have. We have one down at Baldwin Hills, and we got one up on Washington. I don't know if there's any more in our footprint, and setting up a table and passing out information. I had a conversation with the new outreach person at Dunn, and she mentioned, and we've done this before years ago, a walking man. Do you guys know what walking man is?
No.
Okay, that's a company that hires people to distribute the literature door to door. And we did that one year when we were having elections. A lot of people thought that it wasn't cost effective because a lot of sections of our footprint was missed. And then we didn't have a big turnout. So they were saying, the board members thought that maybe it cost too much money, but I'm thinking that instead of doing it for election, or we can do it for election because that's coming up next year, we might try it again and see if we have a better response. There's also one neighborhood council was using what I call, hi Ed, come on in, what I call robocalls. And that is where if we have enough telephone numbers of our stakeholders, we can have this company send out a phone call every month to let them know that we're having our meeting and inviting them to come. And then I also discussed with the outreach person at Dunn, every door direct mail, or maybe that came from Sarah, I'm not sure. Somebody told me this. And every door direct mail, I think that is.
I think that's what Raheem used for the
Yes.
postcard.
What Raheem was using to send out to for outreach to the folks in our footprint. It has not been sent out, I don't think, for Region 6. So we could have a true count to see if it was worthwhile to do that. I had a conversation with Raheem last weekend, and he said that there was a final step that had to be done. I'm not sure exactly what that was. And I asked him to give me a call to give me an update, but I didn't get a chance to connect with him. So those were, and the last thing was Dunn sent out an email in the monthly profile, and that had to do with putting advertisement on bus stop benches, and they sent an outline on how to do that. We would not have to pay for the advertisement, we would have to pay for the printing that would go on the posters that would be on the benches. So those are some of the ideas that I had that I want to toss out to the committee and get your thoughts on it.
Well, I'll start, Dolores.
Go ahead.
So my husband's on the HPOZ, and they put together a flyer, and the board took each little region a few months after they had the flyer, and they just walked up and down the street it's a brochure, knocking on the door and giving it to people. I mean, it's a little bit different because HPLZ is a little more regulated, so it's important that people know that they have some kind of restrictions on the remodeling that they do in their homes, or the exterior. But it gave them an opportunity to talk to people and say, hey, you're thinking about doing some renovations, here's some information you may want to have. So I don't know about hiring a person to do that, but it could be a fun thing for some board members to get together and say, okay, on this weekend, we're gonna walk out and we're gonna knock on neighbors' doors and we're gonna go talk to people and let them know what we're about. So that's one idea.
That's an idea, Teresa. Lizzie brought that up when she was an outreach person. We couldn't get any board members to volunteer to do that.
Okay.
We could try it again, since we got new board members. I don't know how it would go over.
Possible twist on that. Our Western Heights, we have like block captains who have to, well, their responsibilities is just get information just to their individual block. So if we had flyers or whatever, just give them to, in our neighborhood, block captains. I don't know how the other HPLZs work, they have block captains or whatever. They have like somebody responsible for a block. We could get the distribution out, maybe utilize with their help.
Sarah, Michael, any thoughts?
Yeah, I have a thought. I'm hearing everything that we're saying, and I think it's a good idea, but I'm trying to understand, do we have a mission?
Mission?
A mission.
We have a mission statement in the bylaws, I think. I think each committee was supposed to come up with a mission statement. That was some years ago, but we haven't seen the handbook until now. It was presented at board meeting. Teresa?
Thank you, Dolores. So I think if I understand what you're asking, Michael, is does this committee have a mission? And is our mission to provide information to the community, to garner new possible board members, future board members? Is that what you're asking? What are the mission for this committee and what we're trying to do now?
Yeah, kind of. We say we're saying outreach, and that encompasses promotional stuff, right? Okay, so are we, and I don't know, I'm new to this, are we in touch with all of the community organizations so that when they do something, we're aware of it? I know I heard everybody talking about the thing that happened with the Cajun thing down on Jefferson Boulevard and what a disaster that was. And it just feels like we should be in front of things like that instead of hearing about it or being behind in the reaction stage. We should be more proactive. And so I'm just trying to understand, is that our mission, to increase our footprint, to increase our awareness, to let people know who we are?
That's basically it. How we go about doing that, that's what I decided to become the chairperson of the outreach to do, because I just felt that even though we were doing some things, participating in some of the events, putting up tables and passing out bags and what have you, I didn't think that we were doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that and I had a conversation with Greg, our former president, as well, and he felt the same way. And we had one discussion about it, but we never really got back together to follow through on some of the things that we were talking about. And then, of course, he was gone. But I just thought that it can't be just a one-person committee like Lizzie was, and not getting support from fellow board members. It's something that we're all going to have to commit to do together. And if the whole point of a neighborhood council is to engage our stakeholders And I think we're lacking in that area.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, Delores. Here's what I'm thinking. When I first joined the board, we were meeting in Herb Weston's office and the public was there.
Yeah,
And I see our role as an intermediary to the council office and the public for our footprint. And I think that, I guess the way I see it is our meetings, the stakeholders should be bringing their problems directly to us, and we should be enacting some type of decision-making on the issues that they're bringing to us.
and they used to do that years ago. I don't know when or how the dynamics changed, but we used to have at least 20 to 30 people that would come to our meetings when we had them in person at Herb Weston's office.
Right.
And they were engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm saying that I guess it's obvious the pandemic killed all that.
yeah,
How do we bring, I guess my question is, how do we bring that back?
Okay,
it
question. Is the fact that it was at Herb Weston's office, is that a factor in just people feeling like this had some clout, had some influence versus coming to some other location that may have been a draw for them in one sense, for people to actually, and then my other thought, that's my
Good point.
comment on that.
mhm.
But my other thought was, I think we need to clarify that acronym. I think these acronyms kill me. This UNNC, nobody knows what that, I mean, that could be, an acronym for a whole lot of other things.
University of North Carolina.
Exactly. I think we need to define that more and use the whole word as often as possible, and maybe even a subtext as to exactly what it is. Because people, it's just something that you hear so many different acronyms and so many different that you don't really pay attention to.
Teresa.
Thank you, Dolores. Just to update you, Ed, yes, we're the United Neighborhoods of, I don't even know. what
It's a long name.
United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council. And last year.
United Neighborhoods of the Historic Arlington Heights, West Adams, and Jefferson Park Communities Neighborhood Council.
Right.
Oh my God.
We just went through a rebranding where we modified that to take all of that. I mean, that's still in our official name through Dunn, but to take that out.
No, I'm saying we could go with United Neighborhood Council and then
But we can't just say United Neighborhood Council. United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council, and the neighborhoods are Angeles Vista, West Adams, all the historic whatever, so.
whatever we would need for that initial acronym.
Right.
And then, like I'm saying, the rest of it it's more explanatory, I think. And that's what I think people don't really get. Because you got people who are into preservation, for example. If they knew that it was concerned with preservation, they may be more active. But that UNNC, that just is not descriptive enough to draw all the people in that would possibly be interested.
So it could be something like UNNC, the historic communities of Angeles Vista, West Adams, to make sure that is included.
So are we talking about a total rebranding, Ed?
No, I'm not saying rebrand. I'm just saying some things I guess is set in stone, like the name, the whole name, but just being more explaining it either in wherever flyers, brochures, or verbally, however, being able to have a clear explanation of what that UNNC is and what it's about. I just think that it's not clear, and you see the little, even when you see the signs on the posts and stuff, UNNC,
What is
that?
We had also at one time, each region put on a breakfast or a luncheon in the neighborhood, and to meet, it was a meet and greet sort of thing. Meet your UNNC board members, meet your representative for your area. And it turned out to be a pretty good thing. And then we had a short survey that the stakeholders would fill out when they came, but there was no follow through on it. So maybe we could do, maybe not the meet and greet things in each region, or we could bring those back, but do another survey, or maybe we could, what they call it, MailChimp, come up with a survey to send out to our stakeholders and ask them, what is it that you see we're doing or not doing, or what do you think is important that we should be working on, something to that effect.
So I hate to say this because I'm going to put myself out there. What about a pancake breakfast or something like that?
Well, we could do that, but you would have to do it in two areas. You would have to do it in the Jefferson Park area as well as the Washington up around that area, because the Jefferson Park stakeholders are not going to come up north.
I agree. We do a south of Adams and a north of Adams, or south of the 10, north of the 10. That's something we think about, or maybe we do 2 or 3. I don't know. I'm just tossing it out there as a way to reach the community again, let them know who we are, what we're doing, monthly meetings, you're invited, that kind of thing.
Lizzie and I, when we first got on the board, did the apartment building that's on the corner of 31st and Western. When that building was full, we made arrangements with the manager of that apartment building, and we went door to door in that apartment building, talking to the residents there and passing out information. I think that we have apartment buildings in our footprint that we can't get to because of the security. So I think that maybe our region board members could try and get in contact with the managers of those apartment buildings in their area, and maybe we could do a door-to-door like we did years prior.
I just thought of something. What about Pastor Eddie? He would fall right into this.
Who?
Pastor Eddie. Eddie Anderson.
He was at the meeting. He's the one who
Running for council.
comments.
Oh, what about him?
He might host a little something like that in accordance with UNNC that would turn into something like that. It's kind of serving 2 masters. I don't know if we want to get involved at that level of the politics.
If he was not running for office, that would have been a good idea. I wouldn't want to give anyone the impression that we were supporting anyone, because we have to stay out of it. We can do it as an individual to support someone, but as an organization, we cannot do that. And doing something that working with him would give the appearance of some sort of political relationship.
No, I agree. I'm just spitballing some ideas. That's all. I know it's not viable, but
what about, not the political side of it?
Sorry, guys, I got to go mute.
But utilizing the church network as a source of reaching with information.
Hold on, I'm sitting in a Zoom.
Many different churches are within these various regions, and getting the information, or if they have some, I don't know, within the church they may have information booths or community knowledge base or whatever, to making people aware of these jobs, or some kind of awareness program.
That was one of the things that I first mentioned. It was right before you came in, was to go to churches or stand outside of schools, or either get in touch with principals at schools to have information sent out to the parents. But I think standing outside the school when they're picking up their children, we would have a direct contact, something like that.
My whole thing is,
That was just an idea that we.
No, I think that's a good idea. And the school thing is, I think you got to reach these people, to get them interested. You got to catch them in the right environment. I mean, somebody picking up their kid at school,
In a hurry.
they came through the traffic, they're gonna get what it is, throw it in the back seat, and forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, scratch that.
I think you gotta get them in the right place where they're paying attention and can absorb what you're trying to present.
So it sounds like maybe, and we mentioned farmers markets also.
Yeah, that may be.
So maybe the farmers market and the churches, we could do something?
Because people are,
Oh, no, I was gonna say, and so are we gonna try to do a brochure, or are we just gonna use that same flyer? I feel like if we were able to design a brochure, you might get a little more information on it. I mean, I know it may need to be in Spanish and English, but if it's not trying to work on Raheem, okay, so never mind.
No, go ahead.
I mean,
Go
well,
ahead.
and we could try to do something in Canva too, and I'm not even trying to give myself more work, so, but I'm getting a flyer, a piece of paper is fine, but I don't know, the brochure seems a little, that trifold
Mhm.
seems a little more substantial, and, we put it on glossy paper, it seems a little,
That would be a little bit more expensive than the regular.
oh, that's
flyer.
true, that's true.
But, this is something to consider. It goes along with what we're trying to do.
Sarah, how are you on Canva?
Sarah?
Oh, stepped away.
Mm.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So we're talking churches, and what was the other?
Sorry. I was walking around. I've got you on my Bluetooth. Couldn't get on. I'm okay at Canva. What do you need made?
What is that?
It's a design,
Website, basically.
Oh,
yeah, the city Dunn recommends you use it when you have design.
Yeah.
Have a free
For
account.
layout, forms and stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
That's pretty cool. No, we were just thinking, discussing if we have to do some outreach, in-person outreach, maybe at churches
Yeah.
and other things.
Yeah.
So I thought we have that flyer already, but maybe things would look nicer if we had like a brochure, a trifold brochure. It's a little more substantial. So, then I was just asking, I'm just okay with Canva, and I, just want to know how you were with it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I can use a template, as long as we have all the required, logos and stuff from Raheem, that's fine.
So, okay, so we're gonna develop a flyer then?
Brochure.
Brochure? Not
I
flyer,
don't know.
brochure.
Yeah. No, I don't know. We don't have to. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the brochure would be good if we get the, I think that should be used in, not just as a, standing street for pass out, but where you have an interested group, and, because like you said, it's more expensive. I think you should use it where you got some people who are serious about what they need.
What about attending PTA meetings?
Me? I mean, you.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I am not feeling appreciated.
I would think if they have space on their agenda for community, community input, that they would welcome, but I can't speak for any of the schools.
Michael, what do you think? You have a school-age child. Do you think it'd be effective to go to the PTA meetings?
And he stepped away.
Oh, what else was the flyer?
May I also say something about this?
Go ahead.
Okay. I understand that social media is not getting everyone. who do we like specifically we are not catching with social media? Is there a specific age range we're thinking?
I had not thought about an age. I was thinking about some of our senior people and some of
Yeah.
our folk that are not on, so they may have a phone where they
Yes.
get emails, text messages, can get on the internet, but may not be on
Yes.
social media like Twitter and Facebook where we
Sure.
post all of our information.
Sure.
So
I would say the people who are going to be in general involved in PTA are probably not seniors and are probably active in social media. I wouldn't say that's our best use of resources from the, just straight out of the gate. But other community organizations, some of the local restaurants, will they let us post a flyer, even host a casual meet and greet? Like I know Lizzie sometimes did them with the police at Starbucks, but even just a meet and greet at I'm trying to think of local restaurants that.
Coffee. I remember when we
Yes.
met at Alibi Coffee, and we have a relationship. Maybe we could have a discounted price. But I like the idea of doing a meet and greet there. We could do
Yeah.
something. If we're going to do it in regions. We could do something here at Benny Potter Park underneath the gazebo, because we have.
Yeah. And I don't know when they're opening, but South LA Cafe is working on that location on Jefferson and 4th. So hopefully when they're open, they'll be more of they'll be because they have a larger indoor space. Starbucks over here doesn't have any indoor space. So
Yeah.
it's an idea.
In that apartment building that you're talking about at Fourth Ave and Jefferson, I went to talk to the manager about passing out flyers in that apartment building, and he said that wasn't allowed, that there was a table in the foyer that had one of those stand-up things that you could stick a flyer in, and he allowed me to do that for the movies in the park, but as far as going door to door, he wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a manager or whether that was just a clerk, but.
Yeah. Well, and that's where going to that cafe, especially during a busy time of day, you may get people who live in the building coming down to get something or gathering. I don't know.
Yeah. So do we want to move forward with developing a brochure? And once we have that done, come up with some places that we could have a meet and greet?
What do you want in the brochure? I'm game to try making one. I'm not clear on what you want on it besides obvious branding information.
Well, I think Teresa was going to.
I was going to say, similar to the flyer that we have, Sarah, the flyer that we hand out that has the boundaries, color-coded map of where we are, and it has a statement about who we are, what we do.
Okay, what's that statement? What's that? I'm saying, what is that statement?
I don't have it in front of me.
No, I'm saying just.
What do you want the statement to say? We can develop that now.
Okay, good. That the UNNC, or how would we need to put that, is your liaison to city council, so that they know that we have purpose. You understand what I'm saying? That we're your I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, conduit, whatever it is.
Yeah. The word voice has been used. Yeah, the word voice has been used a lot. Voice. People have a voice. We are to try to amplify voices. I don't know that we are here to be a liaison, but we are here to amplify voices.
Okay, well, voices may be a good one. We're your voice for empowerment. Your voice for empowerment.
There may be a way, and I don't know if you guys have a postcard with you, the ones that Raheem and Gabby designed a while back, but there may be a way to
never
just
got
use...
one in Region 6.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's a perfect thing because
I know. Okay.
Sarah, and you were part of that team, so I know
Understand.
that postcards and the flyers, all that language, and they workshop that a lot, Ed.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to just use what we already have, and I can try to talk to Raheem about that and see what we can do. I know he was ill last week, so we'll have to see when he's back to working. But because I feel like otherwise we're reinventing the wheel, and the format I think should change. I think having something that's not just a postcard, I think varying up our medium is good, but a consistent message is more powerful in my opinion.
And maybe a little bit more information of the things that we have done.
Yeah, we would have to start with what we have already from the postcard, but I think, I mean, I can't picture in my head how much space it all took up, and this, especially since it would depend on font size and all of that, but we should have some extra space. So that would be, again, that is definitely a communications thing, and I don't feel like, I'm happy to help design it, but I also don't feel like I want to just take it over either. So I would have to talk to him.
I just approach this from this outreach like a sales or promotion type of process. And in sales, at first you got to get somebody's attention before you can sell anything. So that's what I'm saying, that you got to have a statement that's going to grab somebody and say, oh, let me find out more about this. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons I was going through how we could just immediately let them know what we're about, how we can, and then how it could possibly, be a benefit to them. And then maybe they'll read on about what you've done and what you've accomplished or what what you plan to do. But first, what's this got to do for me? What can you do for me? Is their first question on anything they pick up. Was it, how does it affect me?
Just another dang flyer.
Exactly.
Wrap fish bones. Yeah. Gotta have something that's gonna grab them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, can we say that we're going to develop a brochure then?
Oh, what exhibit?
Oh, Michael left.
I haven't, like I said, it's all new to me. I don't know what's been developed with, what the reading is.
No, this is our very first meeting.
I know, but she just mentioned
Yeah,
that
what we had
which you
before.
already had before.
Yeah.
And which you
And
already.
It's the flyer. You've never seen one of the flyers?
And those cards, the cards, not just one that's in the 20th anniversary, but that one large card.
I haven't seen.
It's in the plastic, it's in the plastic,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that, there's some
Okay.
good language that they came up with that,
Okay.
about who we are, so, I'm just trying to think how I can get that to you, Ed, so you can see what, yeah, I have to.
Just take
a
a
picture
picture.
of it and
Oh,
send it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You have it, Dolores, it's in the,
In the bin?
in the bin, yeah, okay.
How'd you set that stuff up? I didn't look at it.
Okay. So, all right, I'll try to find it on the Google Drive and send it to you, Ed, so you
Okay.
can see, but,
Yeah, that's what I'm
what they
saying.
were.
I haven't really looked at what.
Yeah,
I think.
Diana has the bins.
Oh,
I picked the stuff up from her.
oh, Diane Cooper, okay.
Oh, and speaking of Diana, we had the movies in the park on Saturday, and Christopher, Weed, and Diana, what's her last name? Cooper were the volunteers for that, and they said that, and the pails were delivered to my house, and I gave them to Christopher. He came by and picked everything up, and he said that the pails were a big hit. They went really fast. And they gave away all the bags, just about, I think they gave all of them out. Yeah, so.
And do you know if UNNC was acknowledged and?
I didn't ask him that. I guess
Okay.
I can get that information from him.
Because last time we did movies in the park, UNNC was not acknowledged, so that's what I heard.
Okay.
I got a quick question. You made a statement, and I didn't. You said that the people in the Jefferson Park region are not going to go above apples. I don't.
They just don't. We've had elections, we've had different things in Benny Potter Park. We've had other things that have been north of Adams, and they just don't go. They haven't in the past. I guess it's too far, or they don't feel like they feel like it's out of the area. And that's why Sandra Pruitt was so adamant about having something in Leslie Shaw Park, because it was in the neighborhood, and she felt like the folks, stakeholders could relate more. Whenever we had the toy giveaway, and we had movies in the park in prior years, there was always a big turnout. But when we've had them up there at Benny Potter Park, never saw them. They didn't participate.
I was curious.
They come out when it's in the neighborhood, but they just don't travel up. Michael's back. Okay. So, to narrow this down, are we going to work on a brochure to host some things at like churches and farmers market? Do we want to do that?
I'm happy to make something. I just need to know what's put in it, and I would definitely not want to make something without some input from Raheem as well because he created that logo.
Okay. So do we make motions and stuff at these kind of meetings? We can just agree.
We can just agree.
We can just agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I muted?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So did we cover the booth while I was out?
Which booth?
The booth with the UNNC lettering on it? I know we
No,
talked
we
about.
haven't gotten to that. We were still
Okay,
on.
then I'll sit back. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I agree, Doris. I think we have a consensus that we're gonna develop a brochure. Sarah's gonna work with Raheem. Hopefully we can get that sooner than later, Sarah. If Raheem wants to come to our meeting next month, or if he wants to try to have his own meeting again, just let me know. But maybe we can say by next month, we can have some feedback from communications or a draft on the brochure so we can all put our 2 cents in. Does that sound reasonable, Sarah?
I don't see why not personally. I'm going to reach out to him right now and email him.
Okay. All right. So I think we'll do that. The last thing under that subject was the bench advertisement. Is that something that we might be interested in doing?
So if I remember, Dunn said that they will give you 1 or 2 benches within your footprint,
Yes.
and we just have to pay for the printing of the signage.
Yes.
So do you have an idea, or I guess you just want to find out if we're interested in that, and if so, do you have an idea where we might place that?
I would have to find out first of all, we have to find the location of where the benches are, and then find out if they're occupied. Because if the city has someone that is paying to do advertisement, they're not going to bump them for our volunteer stuff. So there's some steps that I would have to go through to find out from Dunn, and then do some pricing on whether we wanted to do just a regular bench or the tower that's in the bus stop. And go ahead.
Taylor Fife, not Fife, what's his last name? Oh, okay. He used to ride the buses all the time and ride his bike, so he would probably be a good person to make a recommendation where there's a lot of bus riders, or where there are a lot of pedestrians, or where that signage might get more exposure than another location.
Okay.
Well, I think Crenshaw and Jefferson is an obvious location, right? Is that outside of our footprint? Or is that
No.
the corner?
It's right on the corner.
On the
That's the far southwest
side.
corner, right?
east side is our side.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. That's too close to the other district. We want to be in the heart of our footprint.
So we could do.
Well, like, Washington and what?
Oh, I didn't say, I was saying Washington and Adams.
Washington and Adams,
Washington and Western. Is that the
yeah,
edge of our that's the edge of our footprint too, isn't it?
Jefferson and Western,
Isn't that also the edge of our footprint?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to avoid the, because it's so close to another neighborhood council.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But Arlington, what about, I don't know where the bus stop is. I think we really need to find out which buses have a lot of traffic.
Yes.
And I know, I mean, I don't know,
Western has a lot of traffic.
a lot of bus,
Yeah.
bus. Okay.
Yeah. And that's my area, so I don't know about the other areas.
I think Washington has,
Well, let's come back with some recommendations for the next meeting instead of guessing. And then we can decide. What do you think?
Yeah,
I was thinking that Starbucks that they just opened up.
where's that?
The one right at, you haven't seen it?
No, I don't know.
It's right there at, Western and Venice. Mhm.
Is that inside our footprint?
I think Venice is, yes, sorry.
go ahead.
No.
All right. So the next on the agenda was UNNC equipment. And Michael and I at the Jazz and Avenues talked about the pop-up tent with our logo across the top. Can we put that picture up?
Sure.
That one right there, yeah. That's what we had before. Can you guys see that?
No.
You gotta share the screen.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. That's a pop-up tent, and then we had the tablecloth, and both had the UNNC information and logo on it.
So Teresa,
Yeah,
can you email me that photograph?
you can actually go, yes, I can probably do it, but it's available. It is on the agenda if you go to the Google, the agenda,
Packet.
the agenda packet and click on the Google link, all 4 documents are there.
Say that again. I'm on the agenda, but I'm not sure what I should be doing after that.
So on the agenda, just a second, I'll share that with you. Where's the agenda?
www.unnc.org.
No, just a second.
Okay.
This is the agenda, and you see it says Drive, Google.
Got it.
Yeah, if you click on
Okay.
that, it's all in there.
Okay. Because I'll take charge of that. I will come back the next meeting with quotes for artwork and tent.
Oh, great. Can we throw in the tablecloth too?
No.
Okay.
Sure, but I'm not comfortable. I just don't know what am I looking for when it comes to a tablecloth.
Okay, we'll just do the tent.
Yes, thank you.
And if you, Michael, if you don't mind checking with Print Depot, that is someone that UNNC uses a lot.
That's our guys up on 6th, Dennis.
And Washington.
Yeah, he does
6th
all
and
my
Washington.
plans. That's who I was going to go to anyway.
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
doing business with Dennis a long time.
All right, and then can we just drop down to the bags? Can we go back to those pictures? That last one down there.
Okay, can everybody see the bags?
Yes. Those are the
Okay.
new ones?
This is the ones that we were using before. I brought a sample of it at our board meeting. It is a mesh-like bag. It's very lightweight. It's not heavy like the canvas bags. So I'm just wondering, we should get new bags, but I'm wondering if we really need to get the canvas bags or should we just stick with this kind of a bag?
With the
Well,
update,
I can say this, Dolores, the ones that we gave out at the Jazz Festival is now my #1 go-to shopping bag. And it's the right size to put over your shoulder and leave the supermarket with. I noticed that and I said, now we have some utility with our bags. They're not just pretty, they're useful.
Okay.
I think Laura mentioned that they were about $25 each.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't know if we
How
can get
much
a
are these,
price.
Teresa?
I looked on forprint.com and we can get them cheaper than 25.
Oh, I'm sure.
We would be outside of our footprint doing business, but we've used Forprint before.
But how many bags?
Well, I also have an account with a company called Logo Up. They do my shirts. So I can check with them and see what they have in terms of that kind of paraphernalia.
What's the volume? What was?
That was the other thing. The number of bags that we should order. So my thought was if we did go with canvas bags, we would only give those away in our actual footprint. The bags that was just in the picture there, they're cheaper and they're lightweight. We still had our logo on it. But if we were doing cyclovia and it was outside of our footprint, we could give those away as opposed to the canvas bags.
So,
But
how many?
the quantity is the question. I don't know.
That may be negotiable, depends upon what kind of deal you can get.
If we
Yeah.
went with Forprint and you buy, I looked at it on Forprint and you can get those bags there, 500 bags at $1.05 a piece. And it would cost $600 some odd dollars.
That's
Yeah, for that. Oh,
Michael.
Maybe another approach might be more beneficial. Just a suggestion. How many of these events do we do a year? Where we set up a tent and give out stuff?
I don't
Five?
have we,
Well, I mean, remember, we're coming out of the pandemic. So if we base it on last year, we did 2 or 3 cyclovias. Some of them were on the boundary of our footprint. So, and we did Taste of Soul, which is not in our footprint. So let's say we do 8 of them.
Okay, so let's call
But
it
they're
10.
not going to be in our footprint, though.
Okay, let's call it 10, just for the sake of argument. So Dolores, you're saying that we would have 50 bags available at 10 events, and that would be the 500.
I think I see what's in here. So that'd be the 500 bags, Dolores?
yeah, I guess.
Does everybody like that? Does everybody like those numbers?
But we're not talking about 500 canvas bags.
No,
are
no,
we?
no. I'm talking about the cheapies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, it's a big giveaway, but we are trying to outreach and increase our footprint awareness, aren't we? So having 50 bags at an event to give away may be too many, but at least we wouldn't run out.
Right.
And the question is, what do we have in those bags besides the brochure? Are we going to get the flashlights or other paraphernalia?
Under my heading of swag, I
love it.
thought about poop bags, doggy poop bags.
poop.
Yeah, it's those little plastic bags. Magnets,
Oh. I love
the
that.
little flashlights that we had before. And I thought about little first aid kits. You can get some for like that, with Band-Aids and stuff in it.
How about a
Or
sewing kit?
sewing kit.
Just a thought. Oh, well, that went over like a lead balloon.
You darn your socks.
I think I may be the only one left that sews in this world. I mean, just stitch stuff up, really. I'm
Well,
not a
what I was
stitch-
thinking though is if we're going to give away stuff, let's give away something useful, not a pen. I mean, can we give something away that people are going to get some utility out of?
I think poop bags are very useful.
What are they?
In fact, I bought a box of 100
Yeah.
out of my own pocket, and I post them on the tree that's in front of my house because I got sick and tired of them little fur babies doing their business in my yard.
Poop
And so,
bags.
huh?
I was recognizing the term poop bags. I had never thought of it that way because I don't have any pets. I don't have a dog.
There may be, would we have a logo on that? Do we really want to pile poop in a bag with our logo on it?
I agree,
And-
Teresa. I don't think it's a good idea. But we have to, you'd have to put the logo on every one of them, right?
But
When
then
we
too,
print it.
just in my neighborhood, I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. The number of people with dogs
Mm-hmm.
is huge. I mean, the number of people you're gonna reach with a poop bag with your logo on it is probably bigger than the 50 that you're gonna give away at any event. And then it's, but let me just interject real quick. But my point being is, before you get any of this printed up, is having that, like I said, that catchphrase. If you got something that you put in where you're gonna have your catchphrase on everything you're printing, then you got something,
Well, besides, okay, because we're talking about the logo, and then we could say the historic neighborhoods of blah, 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 blah. But we also have a phrase that says one voice, one, Sarah, what does that say? One voice, one something, something? Do you remember?
I don't remember either, I'm sorry.
Because I think that we need to have like a catchy phrase that they can relate UNNC to as being, this is what they are, okay?
Can we get you to come up with a catchy phrase and bring it to the next meeting?
Well, I just came up with okay, I will see if I can. Well,
I have a suggestion. I love what he's saying. Why don't we delineate the neighborhoods? Jefferson Park, the avenues, Kinney Heights, and put it and list them so that you know what neighborhoods are united. And people say, "Oh, that's where I live." Just the thought.
Put them where?
As part of the branding of UNNC.
not on the back, that's a lot of printing, but maybe in the designing the brochure or even the flyer or something like that, you could delineate who's in, included.
What are the neighborhoods in UNNC?
Right, because that's what I mean, that's just means nothing unless you
But
got something.
I feel like you guys haven't looked at the flyer.
Well, maybe not.
You're right, I haven't. You're right,
just feel
Teresa, I
like-
have not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'm gonna.
We'll bring in the flyer. I'll try to email it to you guys so you can at least see it.
And let
And
me,
it can be modified.
and like I said, I'm just throwing stuff.
Send me a
out.
copy too, I'm not sure I've ever seen it.
Okay.
I don't remember.
See, that's part of the problem. We're trying to reach out. We don't know what we're reaching out
This
with.
is sad.
And what we
This is
got-
sad.
So what
We've
we're
been
doing
passing
is
out
sign up.
stuff and haven't even read it.
I've never seen
It's
it.
been in the
Lord.
drive since 2014.
Oh, I'm teasing.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that once we really look at everything, and then we can just put it together.
I'm not sure I understand.
We gotta start wrapping.
Okay. Oh, it's 7:15 already, 7:20, 7:15. So, to wrap up, Michael is going to look into and get
Booth.
quotes for the tent.
Yes.
Ed is going to look into, some catchphrases.
Well, first, I need to review all of the existing material,
And
and then
Teresa's gonna get that to you as well as to Sarah.
Yes, I
And
will send
Michael.
it out to.
Okay,
I'd like to see the brochure or tell me where I can find it, please.
Okay,
and I will get back with the outreach coordinator at Dunn with regards to the information about the benches. Okay?
Yes,
All right.
Sarah's gonna work a little bit on it.
I gotta go,
Oh, and
guys.
Sarah's gonna get in touch with Raheem with regards to working on something for the brochure.
I've gotta go, guys.
Yep.
All right,
All right.
I think that is everything? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, meeting adjourned at 7:17.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
bye.
Sure.